To the Harbor One Hotline, the playmaker Michael Irvin. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my good people. Good afternoon. How is everyone this holiday season?
I'll tell you what, we're okay. The Patriots got a win on Monday Night Football, and it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing offensive performance, but it still led to 20 points and beating a team that admittedly, in losing Kyler Murray, playmaker, was kind of playing left-handed from the start.
I know we say that, but Colt McCoy was moving that ball now. He moved the ball, he made some plays and when he came in, but, it's the one ththing I always say that gives Bill Belichick a little fits, when you got a quarterback that can move like Kyler Murray and do some of the things that he did. But that defense took over that game when they got that fumble about 5 minutes left in the third, and it was all downhill from there.
Michael, I'm curious, what do you think of Marcus Jones, the rookie for the Patriots, who is playing on offense, he's playing on defense, he's returning kicks and punts? It seems like it's such an incredibly entertaining thing to see. You played with a guy like Deion Sanders who did all three at one point in his career, but I don't know. As a fan, I love it, and you wonder if maybe a few more guys maybe around the league could kind of get involved in all three phases.
Yeah, but now listen, it's a hard thing to do. You got to be a special kind of athlete to do that. It's not high school where you're going if you're a superior athlete, you don't have superior athletes at every position that has learned the details of their position. At this level, everybody's a real expert. You got to be a serious talent, and that just tells you. I thought Deion was the most physically gifted athlete I had ever seen, and you're right. This kid has those kind of. He's not as big as Deion. He's not as big as Deion. Not as tall, but boy, he has those talents. No, just because you can run, jump, and catch doesn't mean you can do all those things.
Right. You
can run, jump, and catch. You doesn't mean you can do all those things. That takes somebody different.
Michael, earlier this year, the Raiders struggled when they had more talent, as weird as it seems. Renfro and, of course, Darren Waller, the tight end, have been out.
Right.
And the Raiders have been a little better. They pounded with Josh Jacobs. Davante Adams is as good as it gets. What's the disconnect? Because it looks like either Renfro or Waller might be back this week against New England. Is it easy to just sort of blend those guys into the offense, given the way the Raiders have adapted the last couple of weeks?
That's such a great question, because this is what I was saying, even when the Michael Parsons stuff came out about Jalen Hurts. Is it Jalen Hurts or is it the team around him? I said sometimes we discount the ability to be a leader and manage all of those personalities. They got all that talent in Philadelphia too, with Arthur Brown and Devontae Smith and all those guys, and somehow you never have any issues dispersing and dispensing the ball to those guys. So it leans, I think, to the leadership of the quarterback when he can keep that all intact. He can keep it all intact and serve all those monsters and still win football games. It is a difficult thing. And it's a great astute point. Sometimes you got too many chefs in the kitchen and you ain't cooking nothing worth anything.
Well, there's so many great receivers in the league now. It seems like the Patriots are on a stretch where they're playing one or two of them every single week now. But is Davante Adams the best receiver in the league today?
Well, when we talk about best, since it's the one position that's the most independent position on the football field. You're the widest, away from everybody, but you depend on everybody. Somebody has a block, somebody has a throw to get you in the game. So physically gifting, God gave Davante Adams as much talent as any receiver in the National Football League. But Davante left his, I call him symbiotic. You remember on that movie Venom, when the human and the alien came together, right? They were like symbiotic, and it worked well. That's why it worked well for Venom. Him and Aaron Rodgers, they were like symbiotic. I mean, they were there. They were together. They played together well. Him and Derek Carr, they're getting better. Now look at let's go on that side. Look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill left Patrick Mahomes and turned your boy Tua into one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League before those last two games Tua played.
The playmaker Michael Irvin here with Gresh Keefe. He's with us on the Harbor One hotline. Off of the wide receiver talk, I'm curious. The New England Patriots threw 12 screens, Michael Irvin. Would you like to catch 12 screens in a football game?
12. I've never caught a screen in a football game. We didn't throw screens in there. And that's what's so amazing. When I see guys with 125 catches, 130 catches, I think like 30 of them were screens. So I caught 100 passes. So really, if you give me those 30 screens, I can get you all too. You know what I'm saying? Because 30, those are screens. They just hit catch this. For me. Hey, but sometimes, hey, if somebody's playing off far enough, and your ideal is this. And I told you guys this before, I think, and I thought it was brilliant because I heard Joe Montana talking about he heard Coach say. What was the coach? I'm going to have to draw a blank on Coach's name for the 49ers.
Walsh. Yeah, Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh. Sarah Bill Walsh said defenses will call on first down a 4-yard run, and we were unsuccessful. But a 4-yard pass, the defense think they were successful. Oh, we got them. We won that time. It's a 4-yard pass. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now that's what makes the screen such a big game now because everybody's packing in to stop the run. And they'll give you that 3 or 4 yard pass, and their defense considers that a win. So if you got enough patience, that's what makes Tom Brady so great. You got enough patience, you can 3 and 4 yard them all the way down the field. But the defense knows that's a hard thing to do.
Well, we've talked all season long, and with you as well, about Matt Patricia calling plays and what this offense has looked like. Do you think if the Patriots find a way to make the playoffs, that there's a better chance that he returns? Because Bill Belichick could say, well, look, we went 9-8 or whatever. We were back in the playoffs again. So how bad could it be? Or would he be like everybody else and say, all right, regardless of where the season ends, we need to make a change there?
Boy. Oof. And anybody else, that's an easy question. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else, that's an easy question. Like, dude, you know what you got to do. You ain't got enough clout to just let it ride as is. You better make a decision right now. But that ain't the case with Bill. You see, anybody else, that's an easy question. This right here. And I know as we get older, because I'm getting old myself, older I should say, we sometimes get a little more rigid. Like I'm stuck in my way and that's that. I said it, that's it. And I hope that's not the case. Because hopefully they'll look long and hard at that situation and see if they need to do something.
Question of the week for Michael Irvin, brought to you by the Catches Law Group, New England's personal injury pros at catcheslaw.com. Michael, Keefe and I just got done touching on the Miami-Buffalo game. Miami's going to go play, in the cold. Poor babies. They can't layer up. What is it about the mentality of these weens who can't go into the cold and dress up and play in freezing weather? Help me out.
That, what I almost said so. God almighty. And then you see these jokers out there walking out there with no darn shirt on. So why you doing that, man? Stop playing, man. You cold. What you trying to you just openly gonna walk by me and call me a chump. You cold, you a chump. Yeah, I'm cold. I just can't take it. I can't even take it now when I'm broadcasting the game. And somebody comes on and says, hey, this is football weather. I said, shut up. Stop saying that. That's not football weather. If this was football weather, we would start training camps in December and not in July. In July, all over the world, it's hot. That's football weather. So stop saying that. It's just more difficult. It's a mental thing. You can't open up. Your toes are frozen. Your hands are frozen. I can't take it. I can't take it. I just can't take it, man. And listen, Miami is in a tough situation. You just came off losing those 2 games that you just lost, and you need to get back in good standing. I'm not even talking about with the league and with the actual standing. I'm talking about in your own head. you got to get back. You just went up against another level of competition in the 49ers and then even the Chargers, and you lost that game. So now you got to step up and beat these Bills in that cold. That's what's so great about the NFL. You must face your demons. And all them people, everybody hate the cold, you must face that cold and go beat your demons to get your Super Bowl.
There we go.
Real quick, who do you got, Patriots and Raiders?
Well, you guys broke up on me right now.
Who do you got in the Patriots game against the Raiders?
Man, that's a great game. Listen, I'm real with you. I thought Kyler Murray would win that game last week, and I was definitely wrong when I was looking. And I was like, wow. Then I tried to give myself an out and so Kyler got hurt. That's what it was. Like Kyler got hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
fair.
You got to try to give yourself an out. But this Raider game is so. Listen, man, I don't know how scarred the Raiders are. Look at how they've lost so many games.
Mm-hmm.
That can scar you after a while. You know, you're going to be getting in a game, say, oh, we're going to lose in the end anyway. You know, how deep is that embedded in what they're doing? But it'll be an interesting game. And how hard will those guys try to jump up and play to say, let's win this game for Josh McDaniels? You know, that'll be what's interesting to watch. But I'm going to take this is a hard call right here.
Yeah.
This is a hard call. That's a hard call right there. That's just I got to look and study that a little longer. I ain't ready for that.
All right,
Michael Irvin, thank you, friend. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Boy, that's a hard call. Okay.
Think about it. Let me think about it. Yeah.
But I got to go break down that packet first, right. And I just got the packet today from the NFL. I got to see what's what, and I can pull out of that. So I'll know in a second.
Keep us posted.
No, it's a brag right there. We'll see you, Michael.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Michael.
There goes Michael Irvin with us on the Harbor One Hotline.